Hi, this is Scott Wilson, and today I'm here live doing a video with some of our Insider Club members. I've got Zane and Joel. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey, you guys are Zealand Tattoos, and you're in a really competitive market, which I find the more I look into your industry, it's mind-blowing how, especially in Christchurch, there seems to be a lot of competition in your market. Do you find that as well?
Definitely. There's the 20 years that I've been doing it. There's probably I started with about 4 or 5 studios in town, and now there's up to about 30 at any given time.
Wow.
So they fall off. So every 5 years there's at least another 5 studios that have stuck around and managed to stay in the market.
Stay in the market.
Yeah.
So, and you guys, I guess, are doing some pretty interesting things, and that's why I wanted to interview today. I know that even whatever business you're in, and obviously the marketing club members are going to see this first, but whatever your business is in, the things that these guys are doing, I want you to take away today and be able to use them in your business, because I know retail is really hard at the moment. In Christchurch, per person, we have the strongest retail presence, but it doesn't mean you can't make more money in this marketplace. And it comes down to maybe using some more effective strategies, and maybe stepping out there and thinking outside the square. And I know that's what you guys have done, and I wanted to run through 3 key strategies that you're using at the moment. And the first one we talked about just before is posters and brochures, and maybe you guys can explain how you're using that, and how maybe I'll then look at how our other members can use it as well. So maybe one of you guys can take us through that.
Yeah, what we started doing was posters in the local backpackers, because I started seeing results with my website. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, but I really just had that as one pillar, and then come on with Andreas and started with the posters. But we started with a black and white poster and saw major results when we went to colour.
Wow.
And just the graphics were better, and we probably were putting a little bit more effort into how we presented it, rather than just sort of rushing in the morning and saying, hey, can we stick this black and white poster up? And we sort of tested that with about 3 different styles of posters and the way they were written, but I don't think they were getting enough energy and input into how we were dealing with the business owners. So we saw some pretty big results with the first coloured poster, and we haven't really bothered changing that again since. It's just worded out well and got good graphics on it. And then
so what was the offer? Are you offering something in that poster as far as?
Yeah, what we offer is just good information for the customer. And
someone looking inside the backpackers will see your poster up on the wall.
Definitely,
and they'll see, hey, information about you guys, some testimonial,
call to action.
Is there call to action on as well? What do you offer? Anything?
Just a free T-shirt for the client.
That's cool.
And then and really where it really works for us is there's a 10% commission payout to the business owner. So if it's a referral of a $500 tattoo, the backpacker owner gets $50. So it's in their best interest to keep the posters up, to maybe mention them, and so that's where we go in. And
so it's fair to say in the past you maybe used to run in there, put the poster up and out.
Yeah.
But now you're building that relationship. You built a relationship over time that now is paying out that dividend.
In the downtime, like we took the sort of folk philosophy, working with Andreas as well, around the rep being there always in their present space, building that relationship. So even when we haven't got commission money to go and pay, we've recently implemented chocolates. So I walked in there with a box of chocolates to the team, at the hotel or whatever, and said, hey guys, we're just touching base with you, here's some chocolates, and then we get a great smile out of that, and again, just building that relationship, so we're the welcome guest. Time we go in there, so.
We went through a period when we launched posters in each new backpackers, we found that we would get results off them in the first week, and then once they were established, then we weren't getting any jobs in off those backpackers. So we decided that Joel started putting more effort into just farming them or going in and making sure that we were top of mind and in there every week. And so before, like we say, we'd sort of go into those backpackers and establish ourselves there, but then not really keep going in. And that was we've seen the results and the difference, and basically being in there every week. That's where Joel stepped it up very much like the
I think that's a big takeaway for anyone watching this video is so often people will try marketing and it'll work and they'll get an initial buzz around that working and then they don't continue because they're on to the next thing. People just keep try and look for the next silver bullet, but what it really comes down to is business is about relationships.
That's right.
And I guess when you've been in business 20 years or doing it for that long, you learn a few key things, and if that's one takeaway you can learn from these guys is building relationships is key in any market, but especially in this market. They've got a great offer, they've got a poster up, they've got a good commission, 10% to the business owner. But still, if you don't keep that relationship going, it doesn't mean anything. You know, you have to keep that relationship. And I like what you said there, Joel, about being the Coke rep. You know, being in people's in front of them all the time, top of mind, is really crucial when it comes to marketing the business. And if you have an area where you're thinking, oh, I can't run that, I can't do that in my business, I challenge you to say, well, think outside the square and see how you can. Because no matter what, relationships is a principle. Don't get sucked in by the shiny bullets, get sucked in by the principles. And building a relationship in a business is a key principle. So I think that's a great strategy and really well done on. And I think it must be fun going to them and delivering chocolates, but giving them money, of course, must create a bit of...
great photos of people holding up cash and smiling, like, you know, great for testimonial.
Yeah, and at the same time, their customers are getting a great tattoo as well, and they're getting a great experience by coming into you guys. So that's fantastic. So what's the next strategy you're using? I think it talks about JVs and doing joint ventures.
Yeah, well, it went on from there from doing JVs with bus drivers. So you know, we sort of established ourselves in quite a few of the inner city backpackers, and we then went on to a bus driver. There's a couple of bus drivers that we're working with, and really that's just been in the last couple of weeks. We come on with a guy, Thumper, who works for which bus company?
I think it's Magic.
Magic Bus Company.
So you're targeting, once again, the backpackers coming in,
and
you're targeting those Magic buses that drive around, taking all the backpackers around?
They take around the South Island, different destinations, and drop people through. And some of these guys are referral machines. They make extra cash and commission through referring to, you know, other businesses in the tourist industry. And it's basically just tapping into that. And this guy in particular is really motivated, isn't he, Zane? You know, really motivated to refer and to get tattoo work done himself. So we either give him tattoo commission work, credit, or cash, you know, depending on what the person wants.
I think he was Stray's, you know, highest referral driver, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
And as far as you know, referring on customers to different businesses. And so he come on with us last week. We've had 2 jobs out of him yesterday for $1,500.
Wow.
So I mean, we have fairly big ticket prices on our work. So I mean, you know, it could be different in different industries, but you know, just the power of it. There's 2 jobs already in 1 week, and then they have probably a turnover of you know, buses about every 10 days. So we'll probably look forward to that. So just seeing the power in that, and you know, getting, even if it's 5 or 10 more drivers on, what that can do to our bottom line.
Definitely.
I think the big key takeaway for me there, and you guys I know spent some time on that, is understanding who your market is. When you know who your market is, then you can go and fish in the pond where your market is. And you can find the people that have influence over that market. Because if I'm a backpacker and I come to New Zealand and someone says, and I want to get a tattoo, and the bus driver, who at the end of the day has influence because he's there with them, he's partying with them sometimes, but he is showing them around. When he says these are the guys to go get tattoos from, pretty much the deal's done. So for you to spend that sort of money on a radio campaign or any other sort of outside marketing to get those guys to come to you with that sort of influence, it'll cost you thousands of dollars. Where you're making thousands of dollars and only spending 10%, which is fantastic. And so the takeaway for people listening is you have to know your market. Okay, you have to really, really dig down and know your market. Because once you know your market, then you can spend your advertising and your marketing dollar as close as possible to that market. And that's what you guys have done. You're spending your money as close as you can to your target market, and it's paying dividends. So that's a great strategy, and I know that's going to grow for you, because once you get one bus driver, and if one guy's getting X amount of dollars, man, I wish I was a bus driver.
Good little perk, isn't it?
It's a good little perk, but it's a legit perk that in business, you know, if you want to win the game of business, you have to do things outside the box. You have to think outside the box, and you have to be prepared to put yourself out there. And by doing that, you know, you are. So that's fantastic, that strategy. One more I want to talk about, and I know you've had some really good success with this, and it's starting to help get your presence online, which is video marketing.
Yep.
So maybe we could just talk about that for a second as well. What are you guys up to there?
What we've been doing is just videoing most tattoos that we do out of the shop. So some of them are ongoing pieces, larger pieces, and then have to be done over, say, maybe 2 or 3 months, and at the very longest, if it takes that long to do a piece. But what we've been doing is, videoing them and then uploading them onto YouTube and a bunch of various other video. Websites.
Yep.
And so that just to help with our search engine sort of optimization for the website and that.
Yep. And I mean, like what I've set up Google Alerts as well, and I'm monitoring as well, and the power. Like we're pretty much dominating the video, or getting to the point where we're starting to dominate, particularly in our Christchurch niche, on the video side of things, and which is really powerful. And what came in, Zane? It was about $4,000 job when it came in off the video.
I think we did a guy, JB, he'd come over from the States and emailed us, but he actually saw one of the videos that we'd posted on a guy, Matt Fredericks. We'd done a Mania, sort of a mouldy shape design on his arm, a half sleeve, and we loaded that up through Andreas, and then he'd seen that YouTube video and was like, wow, this is awesome, just from seeing it, as opposed to which led him then to the website, and then that was he started email corresponding with us and secured his job of $4,500 he spent, and that was, once again, I think it had been loaded up, and that was within about a week as well.
Wow.
So we're seeing some really good results.
So where was he searching? He was searching in Google. Was he here in New Zealand or was he overseas?
He was overseas.
He was overseas, so he was overseas. He searched in Google for Maori tattoos, because that's what he... Maori related.
Wow.
So that just shows you the power of video marketing and how if you implement it in a business, what it can do. It can driving people that are coming here, not even in New Zealand, but the people that are searching now in New Zealand, you guys are just dominating those search results. So when you come up, basically then they're going to go to your website, so it's driving a lot of business. And here's the key thing, here's the key takeaway, and what you've just said just proves this. People have a conversation in their head when they're searching online. The internet is search driven, okay? You must really understand that it's search driven. People go online looking for information, looking for things that they want to do to solve their problem or have joy as far as getting a tattoo, etc. So they're looking for solutions. So they're going online doing that. You have to come up. Now, a great way to do that is video marketing. It's very, very easy, and it's a great way to position yourself as the experts in the marketplace. And that's the key as well, because when you're getting a tattoo, or when you're buying anything, you want to deal with the experts in the marketplace, and videos is a great way to position you in there. I guarantee the email correspondence with that guy was more, when can you book me in, blah blah blah, what can you do. You're not having to sell the guy. The video's done the work. He's already convinced that you guys are the experts in the marketplace. He just wants to get over there and get his stuff done and pay you $4,000 for a video that is out there. It's just fantastic, and that once you have more of those out there, they'll just expand on that. So that's fantastic. Hey guys, I really appreciate it. Is there any other things you'd want to share? I really appreciate your time. I know we're probably going for about 15 minutes now, and it's been good to have you here, and it's fantastic to have you guys as marketing club members, and I know the work you're doing with Andreas outside that is outstanding as well. So really congratulations on that. You got any final things you want to share, or you?
Just one real quick thing is we're just starting to target the local market. We've been mainly focusing on tourist markets, so we'll keep you guys up to date with what we're doing there. We've got some really cool things in the fold that we're going to test, and we'll let you know how we get on.
I think that's a great point as well. The word you just said there is test. I know I'm a big stickler for that, test and measure, and I know you guys are testing and measuring your marketing as well, which I think is fantastic. So one final takeaway from me for this interview was test and measure. Whatever these guys have said, prove them right, prove them wrong. They're doing it the right way. It's your job to prove that you can do it right in your business, okay? So whatever you've heard, you've got to now go and test it, because without action it means nothing. So guys, thanks for